There is a harsh truth that no one says out loud. A woman's past is not just a collection of stories, it is a psychological imprint. Carl Jung described these imprints as patterns that shape her present and your possible future. We often ignore red flags, thinking they are just part of her personality or modern attitudes. But what if these signals are not random? What if they are clear markers of deeply rooted behavior patterns, the shadow she hides even from herself? Today, we will uncover 7 hidden signs that a woman's intimate history is too rich to build something lasting with her. Stay until the end, because the 7th sign is not just a red flag, it is real evidence you can check yourself, which might save you years of your life. We live in a world where freedom and lack of prejudice are praised, but psychology is a science. It says that every important experience, especially in love, leaves a mark on the soul. Jung explained that every person wears a persona, a social mask shown to the world. A woman can seem charming, confident, free, and open, but behind this mask hides the shadow, the hidden part of her personality where old pain, disappointments, and learned behaviors are stored. The more casual connections a woman has had, the more her shadow learns to protect itself, to manipulate, and to survive, instead of loving and trusting. Understanding how her past affects her relationships is not about judging her. It's about diagnosing the situation so you don't become a patient in someone else's drama. Sign number 1. Illusion of closeness. Comfort as a warning. This is a trap that fools 9 out of 10 men. She seems extremely confident when talking about intimacy, speaking easily about physical relationships. At first, this seems attractive. You think she is modern, free from complexes, and knows what she wants. But Jung would say, don't just look at the mask, look at what's behind it. Her ease is not healthy confidence. It is a symptom that she has no natural emotional boundaries at the start of a relationship. A healthy mind protects its vulnerability. Shyness, slow emotional connection, and slight nervousness are natural signs that intimacy is meaningful. But when a woman treats closeness like a soldier used to many battles, it means her attachment system is damaged. Boundaries have been crossed so many times that they are now gone. She can talk about intimate things without emotion because for her, it's no longer special. It's routine. You will notice that her words and actions feel too practiced, too perfect, almost like a performance. There's no natural build-up, no vulnerability, and no real emotional connection, only a mechanical routine. Most men think they are lucky to have such a confident partner, but in truth, they are facing the results of many past relationships. Sign number 2. The glass wall. Emotional isolation. While the first sign is about her outer behavior, the second is about her inner world, a private fortress where no one is allowed in. This is the most painful sign for a man seeking real depth. Women with many past partners often develop strong emotional defense mechanisms, making true emotional connection almost impossible. She can be with you, talk to you, laugh at your jokes, and even be in a relationship with you. But there's always a part of her you cannot reach. She looks at you as if through an invisible glass. You see her, she sees you, but you cannot truly feel each other. This is not temporary shyness. This is a deep inability to let another person into her inner world. She avoids deep conversations. She will not share her deepest fears or personal childhood experiences. When you try to get closer emotionally, she changes the subject, makes a joke, or gives a generic, emotionless answer. This emotional wall becomes most visible during conflicts. Instead of working with you to solve problems, she either shuts down completely or explodes and wants to end things. She hasn't learned the emotional skills needed to repair and maintain a relationship. Her main survival pattern is leaving, not fixing. The orbit of attention, a collection of friends. This sign strikes at the heart of trust in a relationship. Women with many past partners often maintain an unusually large network of male friends. These are not just casual acquaintances or work colleagues. Many of them are ex-partners, potential suitors, or men clearly interested in more than friendship. Her phone is always buzzing with messages. Her social media is filled with male attention. If you ask who they are, she casually says, "Oh, just friends." But in reality, this is not friendship. It is an orbit of attention. She keeps emotional and social ties with multiple men at once. Some of these men are past lovers, and she keeps the door slightly open for them. From a Jungian psychology perspective, this is not about maturity, it's about maintaining a constant supply of male validation. Her self-esteem depends on continuous confirmation of her attractiveness from many sources. She becomes like an attention addict, needing several streams of admiration to feel secure. What many men don't realize is that these friends are backup options. She may not plan this consciously, but her subconscious uses them as a safety net in case the current relationship fails. Over the years, she has developed this as a survival strategy. The real problem? She cannot set firm boundaries. Men who are clearly interested in her continue to circle around, receiving mixed signals. She enjoys this attention too much to cut it off, even if it weakens the trust in your relationship. Her emotional energy is spread thin among many men, making it impossible for her to fully invest in one partner. Sign number 4. Intimacy as currency and weapon. This is one of the most manipulative patterns, and it can be shocking. She has learned to use physical intimacy not as an expression of love, but as a tool, as a currency to get what she wants, and as a weapon to control. Women with many past partners often, without even realizing it, turn intimacy into a transaction. They discover that it is a powerful way to influence a man and begin to use it strategically. For example, she might withhold affection when she's upset, not because she genuinely isn't in the mood, but because she knows it will make you apologize or give in. On the other hand, she might suddenly initiate intimacy when she wants something, whether it's an expensive gift, a favor, or forgiveness for her mistake. The timing of these actions is never random. It's perfectly calculated. She knows exactly when to get close and when to pull away to keep you in a state of emotional hunger. This is not natural female intuition, it's a learned technique of manipulation developed through years of relationship experience. When intimacy becomes a bargaining chip instead of a deep connection, real love becomes impossible. Even in moments that seem sincere, you may feel doubt. Is this real, or is this another move to gain control? The surgeon of men's souls, master of manipulation. If using intimacy as currency is a blunt tool, this sign is refined, almost surgical. She understands male psychology so well that she can influence your emotions with frightening precision. She knows exactly what to say to make you feel strong, needed, and unique. Her compliments hit too perfectly, as if she has studied you like a science project. These are not spontaneous expressions of love. They are targeted strikes learned through years of practice with other men. Jung said the goal of life is not to become perfect, but to become whole. She, however, is not seeking wholeness. She is perfecting her role. She plays the part of the ideal partner with skill, but it's just another mask. Imagine you share your dreams with her, and she responds, "I always knew you were different. You have courage others lack." This boosts your ego. But later, during a minor argument, she says, "Sometimes I think you're afraid to take real risks." The praise and criticism hit the exact same emotional spot. This keeps you emotionally unbalanced, always chasing her approval. It's like an emotional roller coaster, highs and lows so extreme that you lose sight of reality. She may even stir jealousy by casually mentioning how a friend helped her with something before you could. It's not to leave you, but to make you compete harder for her attention. She uses her feminine charm like a scalpel, creating specific emotional reactions to control the relationship. None of this is learned from books. It's the result of countless experiments in past relationships. Sign number 6. Pride instead of regret, the past as a badge. This sign reveals a deep conflict in values that makes building a future together almost impossible. She feels no shame or even modesty about her romantic history. In fact, she may display it proudly as if her past is a trophy collection. In psychology, there is a defense mechanism called reaction formation. It's when someone hides an uncomfortable truth, like shame, by showing the opposite emotion, exaggerated pride. This pride is not genuine. It's armor to protect herself from self-reflection. She might say, "Yes, I had many experiences, and I'm not going to apologize. They made me who I am." Any delicate question from you will be met with accusations that you're insecure, jealous, or outdated in your views. She uses modern ideas of freedom as a shield to avoid honest discussion. It's like hiring a business partner who proudly tells you about 10 bankruptcies as valuable experience. Would you trust them with your money? If not, why trust someone with your heart when they treat emotional bonds the same way? In her worldview, partners are replaceable. She cannot understand the value of exclusivity or lifelong commitment because she has never experienced it herself. You may be building a castle while she is used to living in a house of cards. The undeniable evidence: how she speaks about men. This is the most telling sign because it cannot be hidden for long. A woman's language always reveals her inner world, no matter how perfect her mask is. Listen carefully to how she talks about men. Past partners, colleagues, celebrities, even strangers. If she often uses cynical or dismissive language, calling men all the same, weak, or just after one thing, this is a clear reflection of her past experiences. Multiple short-term relationships and emotional disappointments have formed a permanent bias in her worldview. She no longer sees men as individuals, but as a category. Carl Jung wrote that perception shapes reality. If she believes all men are untrustworthy, she will subconsciously create situations that confirm it. Even with you, her actions will be guided by suspicion, not trust. You might notice she speaks with unusual detail about how men think or what men want, as if she has insider knowledge, but this is not wisdom, it's the voice of accumulated experience. The more she generalizes about men, the more you can be sure that she has known too many, too closely. Why these signs matter? Some will say, the past is the past. Judge her by who she is now. But psychology tells us that unresolved patterns always repeat. If someone has developed habits of detachment, manipulation, or emotional avoidance, they will carry these into every future relationship unless they've done deep self-work to heal. It's not about shaming a woman for her history. It's about protecting yourself from becoming just another chapter in a long list. You deserve to be with someone who can give you trust, depth, and exclusivity, not just temporary excitement. How to protect yourself. 1. Observe, don't assume. Watch for repeated patterns, not isolated incidents. 2. Test emotional depth. Share something vulnerable and see if she meets you with equal openness. 3. Check boundaries. Notice how she handles attention from other men. Does she close the door or keep it slightly open? 4. Pay attention to her past. If she becomes defensive or overly proud when discussing it, that's a sign. 5. Trust your discomfort. If something feels off, it probably is. Jung believed that the greatest danger is not in others, but in our own blindness. If you see these signs, don't ignore them because of charm, beauty, or chemistry. The truth will surface sooner or later. Better you recognize it before you've invested years of your life. Final thought. Love is not a game of statistics. It's an act of devotion. But devotion can only exist where there is trust and emotional safety. Choose someone whose past strengthens her ability to love, not someone whose past has taught her to survive by keeping love at arm's length.